Hey, what's up? Welcome to our series, Wondrously Weird Bible Stories, where we dig into the strange, the supernatural, and the most mysterious parts of the Bible. So buckle up, things are about to get seriously weird. Today, we're going to take a detour from the usual storytelling to dive into something a bit different, yet equally fascinating: the Dead Sea Scrolls, and how they've helped us understand some of the most interesting passages in the Bible. If you haven't watched my Supernatural series, I highly recommend that you check it out, especially the first video where we talk about the Bible, what it is and what it isn't. In that video, I briefly mentioned the Dead Sea Scrolls, but today we're going to look deeper into their importance. The Dead Sea Scrolls, a set of ancient Jewish writings, were discovered in caves near the Dead Sea in the mid-1900s. These scrolls, which are over 2,000 years old, include some of the earliest known versions of the Bible and other texts. Their discovery was groundbreaking because, on top of validating the Bible as being unchanged over time, other writings discovered alongside have given us a much better understanding of early Jewish beliefs, languages, and culture. Now, this probably won't shock you with the various different translations floating around today, but when I said that the Bible is unchanged, I'm not referring to the translation. Ancient Hebrew is a behemoth of a language. Many words have multiple meanings, which is one reason we see the variance in the translations that exist today. Many times the differences are insignificant, but let's look at one of the most mistranslated passages in Scripture. Let's take a look at Deuteronomy 32, verses 8 and 9, and let's use a very popular translation, NIV. When the Most High gave the nations their inheritance, when he divided all mankind, he set up boundaries for the peoples according to the number of the sons of Israel. For the Lord's portion is his people, Jacob his allotted inheritance. At face value, nothing seems out of the ordinary, but check this out. When did Yahweh divide all mankind? If you said the Tower of Babel, you are correct. Well, Houston, we have a problem. When the nations were divided and the boundaries set up, Israel didn't even exist yet as a nation. We don't see Israel established for another 21 chapters down in Genesis 32. So, is my Bible wrong? If we take a look at this same verse again in the English Standard Version, which has been updated based on the Dead Sea Scrolls, things start to make more sense. When the Most High gave to the nations their inheritance, when he divided mankind, he fixed the borders of the peoples according to the number of the sons of God. But the Lord's portion is his people, Jacob his allotted heritage. If you are a regular around here, you know exactly who these sons of God are. Yahweh didn't divide the nations by the number of the sons of Israel and then take his portion. That doesn't even make sense. This says he divided the nations and put his divine beings in charge of these nations, hoping they would do a good job leading these nations to follow Yahweh. Spoiler alert, they didn't do a good job, and that is what led God to establishing Israel as his nation of priests. But is this just an isolated incident? Let's look at Deuteronomy 32:43 in the same translations. Rejoice, you nations, with his people, for he will avenge the blood of his servants. He will take vengeance on his enemies and make atonement for his land and people. Again, pretty straightforward. But if we look at ESV, we again see more details, including mention of these sons of God again. Rejoice with him, O heavens. Bow down to him, all gods, for he avenges the blood of his children and takes vengeance on his adversaries. He repays those who hate him and cleanses his people's land. And that brings us back to the question, is my Bible right? The answer is yes, but with the caveat that translations are complex and sometimes lose nuances found in the original texts. The Dead Sea Scrolls have shown us that even small differences in translation can have huge implications for how we understand the Bible's message. In the case of Deuteronomy 32, these scrolls have revealed a deeper layer of meaning, reminding us that the spiritual world of the Bible is far more complex and far more interesting than we might have realized. Thanks for stopping by. If you enjoyed this, be sure to check out my other videos and just remember to keep reading that Bible.